SongCast Radio. True music discovery.
You are streaming the Hip Hop Spotlight. Our featured artist has been featured here before on Spotlight. We are going to say hello once again to Hug G's from Kissimmee, Florida. Great music on the way, some great conversation. Let's head to the phones, see if we can get Hug G's on the line.
Hello.
Hey, Hug.
Hey, what's up, man?
Joe from SongCast. How you doing, my friend?
What's up, Joe? Long time no talk to.
Good to have you back on the show, my man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Got some great new music out there with SongCast?
I'm trying.
We're going to get into it, man. Let's talk about what's been going on since the last time we had you on the show.
Everything I said from the last time the show came true, didn't it?
What's been going on in your world, man?
The same old thing, man. I go to church every Sunday, so, this is no surprise to me that there's chaos and mayhem. The trolls that are at an all-time high now, bro. So it don't matter what skin color the troll is. The troll is a troll, period.
It's amazing what the pandemic has done to people, man.
Yeah, all it did is really bring out their inner true selves out into the real world, which I already knew that was part of their MO anyway.
So have you been using the pandemic to put together new material, kind of isolated yourself, and just been working on tunes, or what's been going on?
That's kind of been what's hit and miss, depending on where I'm at in media, trying to bombard my phone. There's certain triggers that make me go, okay, look, this ain't about race, buddy. Yes, it may be racial because that's more comfortable, but it ain't about that. It's deeper than that, man. The insurrection's a perfect example. First time in history, you had a bunch of black people join a bunch of racist white people, and they stormed up in that Capitol, and they all lived to tell about it. So the first thing everybody focuses on is, if they were all black, they would all been shot down. Yes and no. It all depends.
So let's talk about some of your new tracks. Which one do you want to kick off?
Manza Musa.
Tell me about it.
Well, I did some research because, predominantly say that, Africa is a broken country and it's poverty, yada, yada, the list goes on, but that's just not the truth. And Manza Musa was a figure in history that, quite honestly, no American has been able to match his wealth, period. And that includes Bezos and Elon. Manza Musa had an empire, and his net worth was around $800 billion. And all his quote-unquote slaves were treated like royalty. They all wore silk, and they had gold. So as a pawn in America, I'm like, where's my gold at, homie?
Here it is, Manza Musa, indie music from Hug G's, true music discovery on SongCast.
Never sold cocaine, trap houses in the hood make me nervous. I was always in God's house, palms together, praying for a bigger purpose, praying for forgiveness. Extended my kindness, seemed so hopeless. Did my research on Manza Musa, and your highness bring light to the darkness. Every slave and merchant and warrior in the days of Mali, bank account enormous. Predict supremacy what ends by Nostradamus. Shout out to all the BLM supporters, most of their skin is white. To the racist people, I hope you prepare for the holy wars, one heck of a fight. Truthfully, I don't care what skin color you are. That's exactly why I rap like dog. Understand that gloves conquer all. Shout out to all the BLM supporters, most of their skin is white. To the racist people, I hope you prepare for the holy wars, one heck of a fight. Truthfully, I don't care what skin color you are. That's exactly why I rap like dog. Understand that gloves conquer all. But the big difference is I didn't change where I came from. I'm keeping it down for all my thugs. Rat dog. Every day understand that I'm trying to get paid for my day job, man. That's a bigger demand than fighting over my skin tone, my man. Every day getting this money ain't funny for my day job, dude. I really don't think it's funny. That's because I paid attention in school and raised my hand every time I had a choice. Every day understand it's cash I'm getting. It ain't the type of thing that comes from the evil kid. It's given. Understand this is for my wife and children. Every day making a good decision makes me a better person. Contribute that knowledge to the people here. Otherwise it's a sin, because I believe the research that I found in Manza Musa, man. Manza Musa. Every day making a good decision makes me a better person. Contribute that knowledge to the people here. Otherwise it's a sin, because I believe the research that I found in Manza Musa, man. Manza Musa. Manza Musa. Manza Musa. Manza Musa. Manza Musa.
Manza Musa, music from Hug G's here on Spotlight. Let's continue on with our interview. The track Manza Musa Day Job, is that kind of an extension from that first track?
It is, but it's funny because the Manza Musa Day Job was kind of like a spin-off of Presidential Day Job, but it just went straight for knocking the nail right on its head, because as a Christian man, I gotta love Satan himself, bro. I know that sounds really odd and fucked up, but let's face it, the devil himself is still one of God's creations. So if I can't learn to love him and forgive him, how can I be expected to be accepted and loved and forgiven when I go to heaven?
Here is Hug G's Manza Musa Day Job, indie music, true music discovery on SongCast.
Every day getting that money ain't funny, yes, homie. Got it from my day job, homie, because I've been working hard, grinding hard for this, and I can't stop now, because I'm on a mission. Excuse me, Mr. President, I didn't mean to disturb you, but I'm definitely gonna be needing to borrow more than a little brown sugar. My brothers and sisters been dying because bad police been pulling the trigger. Please forgive me, this is dedicated for me trying to give you ill all that anger. Every single one of my forefathers was a military man. Understand this is a high demand when I take my stance. Understand this is the truth between me and you and Jesus Cristo and an alias of the Trinity called Jehovah God's Henry to combine with the Holy Spirit. Understand this is a high demand now. A lot of bodies hit the ground, but I've been prepared for this. This is my third strike dying, dog. Yeah, I seen that light when I was a kid. When that dude was really drunk and swerving and hit the curb to me and as well. And it was kind of bloody and kind of gory. I have a severed index finger, but it was placed back by a couple operations. Understand this is a high intense situation. Everything I say is coming to fruition. They just don't listen. I'm understanding these things better and every day getting better at it. That's because I see that God's work has come into fruition. You explain what happened to my man, but that's okay because I'm a so-called black Trump supporter at the same time, only because I'm a Christian. Big up to Mike Pence and on them. That's because I love you has come into fruition. You explain what happened to my man, but that's okay because I'm a so-called black Trump supporter at the same time, only because I'm a Christian. Big up to Mike Pence and on them. That's because I love you. Understands when I'm spitting it. This is the truth because they have a high demand for this. It's in a short supply, dude, because everybody has to say goodbye. Cause I've been working, grinding hard for this, and I can't stop now, cause I'm on a mission. Yeah, I gotta get it. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Cause I've been working, grinding hard for this. Let me explain something to these Nazis, dude. I have to love you. I'm a Christian man, dude. Understand this is the truth. I was trained to kill you if I have to, if you endanger someone else. That includes people with white skin that look like you. I was trained to take you out before you take yourself out. Don't be doing these things because you know they're gonna leave you wildin' out. You should stop what you're doing because understand this is eventually gonna be a war that ends with you being the dude that lose. Understand this is the truth, but you don't want it to come true. But you see these things that are happening for a reason. I was forced to say that I love a Nazi even though he wanna put a bullet in my head, dude. And that's the same way I feel about all my dudes that I grew up rat to every single one of them. Because I would take a bullet for them faster than I would take one for you, and that's just the truth. Understand, I've been working, grinding hard for this, cause I can't stop now, cause I'm on a mission. Yeah, I gotta get it. Yeah, I'm gonna get it, cause I've been working, grinding hard for this. Excuse me, Mr. President, I didn't mean to disturb you, but I'm definitely gonna be needing to borrow more than a little brown sugar. My brothers and sisters been dying because bad police been pulling the trigger. Please forgive me, this is dedicated for me trying to give you ill all that anger. How would you feel if a lot of people that you knew got shot? How would you know if somebody died that you knew and it was wild? News reporter anchors, helicopters above rooftops with timber pops, taking photoshops. R.I.P. because Bill Murray done seen this and I'm starting to see it every day played on the media. And I feel like I'm in the same exact day and year. Jesus' heart from the start. That evil I will outsmart. Staying on point as if I was a pyramid, bullet, arrow, or a dart. Jesus' heart from the start. That evil I will outsmart. Staying on point as if I was a pyramid, bullet, arrow, or a dart. Cause I'm Jesus' heart from the start. That evil I will outsmart. I'm staying on point as if I was a pyramid, bullet, arrow, or a dart. Jesus' heart from the start. That evil I will outsmart. Staying on point as if I was a pyramid, bullet, arrow, or a dart. Cause I'm Jesus' heart from the start. That evil I will outsmart. I'm staying on point as if I was a pyramid, bullet, arrow, or a dart. Manza Musa, Manza Musa, Manza Musa, Manza
Indie music from Hug G's on the Hip Hop Spotlight. What a great track. Manza Musa, Day Job, and also Manza Musa starting us off. If you like what you hear, buy tracks from Hug G's, Hug-GS. Pick up music on Amazon, Apple Music. Put it on your phones. Play it for your friends. Play it in the car. Stream on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. Support Hug G's. Support indie music. Let's go back to our interview with this innovative indie hip-hop artist. How would you say some of your new music differed from the stuff we played on the last show?
The first album was more geared towards just trying to be a good person. And the second album is about hope. You have politicians out there that look like me, but they are quote-unquote way more white than me. And I just never will cross that threshold because I grew up with a lot of white kids that were in poverty. So what, they're going to, troll all that shit and then go right next door to me to live? You know what I mean? Like, that's just not the reality of what the media wants from people. The media's job is literally to piss off the white guy. And I'm like, why in the hell would you want to piss off white people?
Let's move into the track Ninja.
Well, I am black, so I do not want to call a fellow black guy the N-word. And I never have really engaged in that. And, I'd rather learn their name and call them by their name.
Here is indie hip-hop from Hug G's. This is Ninja on SongCast.
Ninja, use a ninja. What's good, ninja? What's up, ninja? We have a ninja. Always try to understand the translation to ya. Ninja. A ninja's real quick to slap you in your face and pitch ya. Understand these things that a ninja gon' do. A ninja gon' catch you when you sleeping, dude. A ninja's quick to steal from you when you sleeping. A ninja's quick to sell them drugs to you. Ninjas be doing some crooked stuff. Understand it don't matter what their skin tone is, though. Understand that a ninja gonna do what they had to do. A ninja gonna clap you as soon as you come through. A ninja got them hands ready, they gon' clap that face. A ninja got them trick figures, all isolate. All the things that these ninjas be doing these days. Ninjas be crazy, they be acting like some thugs. A ninja gonna act crooked, a ninja gonna take you. A ninja might do some things that even Jehovah don't do. Understand these things that people do when it's so true that you understand this is a movement for people that want to be peaceful. Understand this, ninja might do some things that even Jehovah don't do. Understand these things that people do when it's so true that you understand this is a movement for people that want to be peaceful. Understand this, understand that Jehovah ain't playing with no one. Straight up, and that's how I do every day. I'm keeping it true between me and Allah, dude. And that Allah is another description of the same exact entity that I said when I said Jehovah. Understand these things are so true. Understand it doesn't matter if you don't believe it, he does believe in you. Understand these things are so true. You know why? Cause a ninja might take you, a ninja might clap you, a ninja might steal and do some drugs with you, a ninja might do some bad things that you never know. That's because I'm a black man, but I can't say the N. A ninja's quick to steal from you when you sleeping. A ninja's quick to sell them drugs to you. Ninjas be doing some crooked stuff. Understand it don't matter what their skin tone is, though. Understand that a ninja gonna do what they had to do. A ninja gonna clap you as soon as you come through. A ninja got them hands ready, they gon' clap that face. A ninja got them trick figures, all isolate. All the things that these ninjas be doing these days. Ninjas be crazy, they be acting like some thugs. A ninja gonna act crooked, a ninja gonna take you. A ninja might do some things that even Jehovah don't do. Understand these things that people do when it's so true that you understand this is a movement for people that want to be peaceful. Understand this, understand that Jehovah ain't playing with no one. Straight up, and that's how I do every day. I'm keeping it true between me and Allah, dude. And that Allah is another description of the same exact entity that I said when I said Jehovah. Understand these things are so true. Understand it doesn't matter if you don't believe it, he does believe in you. Understand these things are so true. You know why? Cause a ninja might take you, a ninja might clap you, a ninja might steal and do some drugs with you, a ninja might do some bad things you never know. That's because I'm a black man, but I can't say the N-word.
SongCast. Free to stream anytime you crave great indie music. SongCast Radio. True music discovery.
You were listening to an interview with Hug G's, HUG-GS on SongCast. Once again, if you like what you hear, support this artist, buy a couple tracks, spend a few bucks on Amazon, on Apple Music, throw them on your phones, play them for your friends, stream on Spotify, on SoundCloud, on YouTube. Support Hug G's. Let's head back to our interview here on SongCast. The lyrics for this release, this new release, Manza Musa, was these lyrics that you put together last year during the pandemic, and then the songs just kind of took shape as time went on?
No, actually, this came along because I was just doing research to keep myself grounded, and I came across Manza Musa, and I thought that was a very good concept that black people should be aware of, that you shouldn't feel like, oh, the white man keeps me down and all this. Now, that's not to dismiss the wrongdoing. The wrongdoing happens to black people and to white people. Yes, there's systemic issues with wealth and poverty. And like I said in my last radio interview with you, the system's going to use you no matter what. Because if you're a super rich person and you feel like you need to feel rich, the government says, well, just make more money. It's a win-win for the government. They don't care either way. They're still going to get their money.
So how long ago were these tracks written and recorded?
All right, so I think Presidential Day Job was the very first one from the album that I put out there first, and everything else just came as kind of just like sporadic moments since the last time we had an interview. So because I wanted to give the message out about Manza Musa as soon as possible, I would say only 2 of the songs in my album were written down. The rest of it was all freestyle, including Ninja Equals Ninja. That one was also freestyle. So,
How about George Washington? That one freestyled?
Kind of. That started off as a freestyle, but then I wrote it down to make sure I didn't forget my freestyle, and then you can hear where it's overlapping 2 different versions in some of it, and I just made a collaboration of the 3 different songs into one song, because I used to DJ for God knows how long when I was a little kid, so it's not hard for me to mix music.
Here is George Washington, Hug G's, featured artist on the Hip Hop Spotlight on SongCast.
Black, black, white, black, black. Yo, I created my own word, dude. White and black means black. George Washington, George Washington. George Washington was our first black president. Had a plantation full of white slave residents. Ironically, his white slave Billy Lee, one of the closest members of his entire family. Never get bad advice in times of desperate need. Always had his back no matter which color you born. They all just want to see you bleed. Washington was shook and didn't want to go against the power train. Campaign, slave trade, so much blood and pain spilled since times of Moses and the Maine. If you able, feel my pain. Some of my people be slinging cane. That's just the way we do when we trying to get this money. It's insane. George Washington, George Washington. George Washington was our first black president. Had a plantation full of white slave residents. Ironically, his white slave Billy Lee, one of the closest members of his entire family. Never gave bad advice in times of desperate need. Always had his back no matter which color you born. They all just want to see you bleed. Washington was shook and didn't want to go against the power train. Campaign, slave trade, so much blood and pain spilled since the times of Moses and the Maine. If you able, feel my pain. Some of my people be slinging cane. That's just the way we do when we trying to get this money. It's insane. I was a set of slaves to the Britons. How we supposed to represent us as the captain? Louisiana Purchase Native American DOD, DOS, Department of Defense, Dollar Services. That's just the way it is. Most people that don't know that Obama wasn't our first black white president, and George Washington was our first black president. Had a black slave and a white slave residence. That's just the way we do it. We try to come true because the insurrection made things come so true. Insurrection on the minds of most people. That's because we understand that we was created equal. Understand my people, they just want to have peace, love, and positivity just because they want to see a life sequel. That's because we know in our hearts, mind, and soul that Jehovah God created us equal. Understand this is the sequel to life sequel because believe in Jesus Cristo. George Washington was our first black president. Had a plantation full of white slave residents. Ironically, his white slave Billy Lee, one of the closest members of his entire family. Never gave bad advice in times of desperate need. Always had his back no matter which color you born. And just all just want to see you bleed. Can't you see me when I bleed? This is the truth, but free me to you. And that's because I believe in Jesus Cristo, dude.
You are listening to the Hip Hop Spotlight. Our featured artist is Hug G's, HUG-GS. We'll get into some more interviews, more great music. Again, buy music from this indie artist if you like what you hear and support the indie scene. Let's go back to our interview with Hug G's on Spotlight. So you find a beat and then you freestyle around it?
That is correct.
Where can people find you on social media if they want to hang out, say hello, and see what's going on?
The best way to reach me is on my YouTube channel.
And that is?
HUG-GS, Hugs.
You're down in Kissimmee, Florida, right?
That's correct.
Anything going on down there as far as clubs opening back up? Maybe a chance to get you out in public in front of a mic or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of venues starting to open back up because most of the people that are in the Central Florida area, they are of common sense, whether they're Republican or Democratic. The way that they went about the pandemic, honestly, to me, should be an example, just like up in Vermont. Vermont is a Democratic state, but it's ran by a Republican governor, and their mortality rate is like comparable with Australia. You know, they all masked up. They tried to get the vaccine as much as possible. They social distanced. They respect each other. And those were just like the key qualities. Whereas, I'm not going to say the former person's name and all, but man, he would say one thing but do another. You can't say that this shit is really deadly, but then like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just like the flu. It's just contradictory behavior. So, like, for example, I just came back from SeaWorld last weekend, and you had people wearing masks, and then you had people not wearing masks. But the people that didn't wear a mask, you know, they seem as though they were all vaccinated. I do have my white CDC card, you know, so I got vaccinated back in June because I was one of those people that thought, you know, I'm going to wait a little while because those people that absolutely need it should get it first. But then, you know, once the media started pumping all this crap of the anti-vaxxers and the anti-maskers, I was like, okay, well, they're just choosing to be reckless. So it was time for me to protect people around me. I'm not worried about the virus, but I do worry if I, being asymptomatic, would have given it to somebody else and then they die.
Are any of the venues down in Florida requiring proof of vaccination or a negative test or anything like that?
No, they're not actually.
See, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and every music venue requires you to show either a vaccine card or a negative test within 72 hours.
Now, that's where I kind of have to agree with my wife, which is where we shouldn't force the mandate. I mean, like I said, they left it up to the business owners for the most part because I think that's the best way to go about it. For example, the school districts here, they have left it up to the parents whether or not the masks should be mandated, and I think that's the best practice because then you're not infringing on anyone's freedom, but at the same token, if you choose to wear a mask, they shouldn't infringe on your freedom to wear the mask either.
So a lot of the school districts around here are mandating it, and man, some of the school board meetings are getting out of control.
I can only imagine because people think that this is about freedom, and it's not. It's about protecting your fellow neighbor. It's a Christian value that I hold dear to my heart because I know as, my whole family doesn't have, big, pre-existing conditions and all that. So I feel like I'm healthy as an ox. I was raised on a farm, so I'm not concerned about me getting sick and going terminally ill and passing away. I was dead set and concerned about what happens if I, as an asymptomatic person, gives it to someone else and they die. I don't want that on my conscience.
Let's move into the track Hard to Body.
Because, like I said, I was raised on a farm, so farm boys are farm boys, man. I used to paintball all the time. I'd hit the dirt hills with the, back then, the Trek bikes were popular before BMX came along. Other things that I did would be like just slap boxing with people, and we had also a game called Hard to the Body, where it's all body shots. And in high school, that was just my thing, and I got to this one guy, his name's Vicus, and nobody wanted to play with Vicus because he hurts. So I always fought Vicus because I could take a hit. So I just feel like nowadays, man, everybody's just so trigger happy that they don't understand that every life is precious, not just black lives, not just white lives, but all dreams matter to me.
And that gets into the next track, All Dreams Matter.
Yeah, that one is very tricky because what I tried to do on purpose was to make it seem like that I was an angry white man. That's the best way I could describe it. I wanted to make it seem like I was an angry white man in the first verse. And there's some key things that I said, wrote down, 1 second. One of the key things that I said was that, I always had the vision for all graphic. Most angry white folks, they all have guns. Let's just be real about the shit, Another thing I said was, shoot, sir, I'm a professional. I like guns. I was raised around guns, but I know how to use a gun. I feel like America should be like Switzerland, where we educate ourselves about firearms. Switzerland, everybody there, they know how to use a gun. And I'm talking about the youngins. But you don't have the mass school shootings and all of that going on in Switzerland because they educate their people. The former president of Switzerland, just walks around without any security detail because they get the bigger picture. Another lyric that says, you look at being born for white and blamed. What the hell, yo? I feel like there's too much emphasis blaming the white man for every little thing we go through. Or we blame black people for everything that we can't get accomplished or don't go through. And then I said, it's so crazy you wouldn't want to be a dude white and rich because racism don't exist. All right, so that was in the first verse. But then in the second verse, I let it play the way I actually freestyled it, which was, I just want to say thank you. Big up to Bubba Wallace and then Marshall Mathers, because I always had the vision that all dreams matter. Let's get oddly specific. I've been praying all my life for people who are having the same type of opposite ethnographics. I have a love for nature and clean demographics. Please don't shoot, sir. I'm a professional. So I remixed that up on purpose, because if you listen to the first time, it sounds like I'm pissed off that, that we're in this predicament. And then the second verse sounds like, okay, we got some shit going on that we need to address. So like I said, man, I try to walk in everybody's shoes. I don't feel like one perspective is the rule all, because we're just not that type of species. Human species is very diverse.
I definitely appreciate you hanging out here on Spotlight on SongCast, putting out music with thought-provoking, common sense issues. It's nice to see that instead of just negativity and hate and drama. Your music is definitely different and with the positive vibe and the hardness and the realization of the way life is, but also with the positive spin on it. And I really like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to make people smile, man. We got some really screwed up issues, but you know what? We're all, like I said, man, the devil himself is one of God's creations, so we need to take more heed to that we should just love each other, no matter what our differences are.
All right, let's hear the final two tracks that we just spoke about, Hard to Body and All Dreams Matter. Indie hip-hop from Hug G's, true music discovery on SongCast.
What happened to the old school, new school? I grew up playing slap boxing, hardest body, dude. That's just the way I do every day, trying to get this money, get paid from my day job. That's the same old saying. Every day I'm doing what I gotta do. It's coming to fruition. That's because I went to school and paid attention. Most of these dudes ain't about what they used to be. Most of these dudes about jealousy. Got them guns, wanna pop your head off, knock your block off, take your mop off. That's the way it used to be back in the days when we was trying to get paid off the drug deal, slinging the cane. But nowadays we all try to be on a different literal because we seen what happened at the insurrection, dude. I ain't gonna do to my people what the other crackers do. That's just the way I do, and I stand firm when I say I love J. Jesus Cristo. Every day spitting the same old exact lingo. I grew up playing hard to the body and slap box. Now these dudes just wanna go off and grab a Glock. That's the same old thing that these crackers doing to these dudes that have complete innocence in their soul, dude. It's gotta change some way, somehow. That's why I'm exactly the way I am right now. I'm on a different level, trying to be an empath. I'm trying to see it before it comes into fruition. That's just the ambition and intuition that I have because of the insurrection scarred my ambitions. And that's just the way I have to be because I have nothing but peace, love, and equality. I grew up playing slap boxing hard to the body. Now I have to rock a wide body. That's because I have to be in a different type of mind frame because these dudes be on a different type of way. I'm in my own lane, throwing out cones and arrow boards. That's because I stay on my point like an arrow. Every day getting dinero. That's because I grew up in New Jersey like I was with the Sopranos. Understand my dinero when I'm spitting it. That's because the way I got it is all white collar, kid. Ain't scared to work in fields. That's because I'm a blue white collar hybrid.
Streaming the future of radio. SongCast Radio.
Dear Father, heavenly above, I just want to say thank you. All my prayers start to come into some fruition. I love all these people, all their ambition and intuition, helping out the peaceful, protestful. I love all these people, to Bubba Wallace and Marshall Mathers, helping out the peaceful protest. All dreams matter. Let's say thank you. Big up to Bubba Wallace. Praying on my life for people who are having that. I always had the vision that all graphic. I have a love for the kid, oddly specific. I've been a producer, I'm a professional. I'm the same type of opposite ethnic, can't help it. I'm trying to get and clean demographics. Please don't rubber bullets in them. I want to help all these people out who during the week protester. And I understand why you want to shoot them other shoes for a while. Tear gas at my peaceful white for slavery. Wow. Let's face it, we all live in each of being broke because you look at if you was born white and you was blamed. Hell, yo. Maybe this is me was black and you was born for to maintain my brain. That doesn't white people po and you said how to be an educated guy. But it's what we need to change because I like fun of Steve Urkel. So I mean I'm a white guy, I just like it and stay found you nerds. You know how it is in our culture. We make some of these things I learned to make me go and get that potion. Wanna observe, but that's okay. That's be so absurd. They gonna say that systemic so crazy you wouldn't do this white and rich in a community because I learned how it don't exist. He ain't lying, racism don't exist. But trust me, the story speaks for itself. That type of stuff just don't exist. Just I've been dying from the way the police. But trust me, the story speaks for itself. I don't even care. I just want the peaceful nature of us all to exist. Trigger it, cause I think they scared and such. I don't even care. I just want the peaceful nature of us all to exist. And all this extra BS, it needs to go ship high in transit. You know how I get down. I don't curse or swear in my rhymes. Wow. Dear Father, heavenly above, I just want to say thank you. All my prayers start to come into some fruition. I love all these people, all their ambition and intuition, helping out the peaceful, protestful. I just want to say thank you. Big up to Bubba Wallace and Marshall Mathers because I always had the vision that all dreams matter. Let's get oddly specific. I've been praying all my life for people who are having the same type of opposite ethnographic. I have a love for nature and clean demographics. Please don't shoot, sir. I'm a professional. I want to help all these people out who doing what they can to help it. I'm trying to understand why you want to shoot them rubber bullets and them tear gas at my peaceful white protester. Let's face it, we all live in each other's shoes for a while. If you was born white and you was blamed for slavery, wow. If you was black and you was born for being broke because you look at white people po and you said how the hell, yo? Maybe this is what we need to change because I like to maintain my brain. That doesn't mean I'm a white guy, I just like being an educated guy. But you know how it is in our culture, we make fun of Steve Urkel. So don't make me go and get that potion and stay found you nerds. That's be so absurd. Some of these things I learned are so crazy you wouldn't want to observe. But that's okay because I learned. How they gonna say that systemic racism don't exist? That dude is white and rich in a community that type of stuff just don't exist. He ain't lying, he's telling the truth. But trust me, the story speaks for itself. There's so many of my brothers and sisters that been dying from the way the police been pulling the trigger because I think they scared and such. I don't even care. I just want the peaceful nature of us all to exist. And all this extra BS, it needs to go ship high in transit. You know how I get down. I don't curse or swear in my rhymes. Wow. Dear Father, heavenly above, I just want to say thank you. All my prayers start to come into some fruition. I love all these people, all their ambition and intuition, helping out the peaceful, protestful.
Two great tracks from Hug G's ending off this profile on Spotlight. We heard All Dreams Matter, also Hard to Body. Before that, George Washington, Ninja, Manza Musa, Day Job, and Manza Musa. If you like what you heard, buy tracks. I can't emphasize that enough. Support this hardworking indie artist, Hug G's, HUG-GS. Buy tracks on Amazon, Apple Music, stream on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Support indie music and keep coming back to SongCast for true music discovery.
Listen, explore, discover indie music from around the world. Spotlight features all types of indie music: hip-hop, rock, pop, electronic, country, blues, jazz, and more. Spotlight. Listen to thousands of hours of archived indie music anytime, anywhere. Experience Spotlight, the best indie music from around the world. Commercial-free and free to stream. SongCast Radio. True music discovery.